Hi, everybody. This is Steve Booker from the Kai's office here in Homestead, and I want to go over a quick demonstration of how to create a transaction in Transaction Desk with you guys. Now, I can tell you this: there's quite a few different ways to get into Transaction Desk, but I'm going to show you the way that I use. It's not to say that there's a wrong way or a right way, but this is the way I use, and I find it the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to start with that. We're just going to go starting off at Transaction Desk, and I do want to point out, I know a lot of people work with this one here. I do not care for that one here. In this, I typically come over here to where it says Company Cloud, and you're going to want to go down about halfway down, just above where it says Links. So it is alphabetical, but then there's a different uh, section underneath here. So we're going to go to where it says Transaction Desk and click on that. And a tip for you guys is once you've pulled this up in your system, go ahead and bookmark that for you. So if you go ahead and bookmark it here, for instance, I did it on my bookmark bar, so it actually shows up right on here on my. I'm using Google as my Windows browser, so it shows up right there for me. So from going forward, anytime I open a new browser window, I can just click right on Transaction Desk and go straight to Transaction Desk and not have to go through KV Core each and every single time. So hopefully that tip will help you guys out. But making a transaction is very simple, and we're just going to do it real quick. We're going to click on Create a Transaction. And let's see here. We're going to put in the name of the transaction. So it's 1234 Test Street. I don't do template. You can do templates. Templates are like form packets from before. We're going to put in the type of transaction it is. So in this case here, we're going to say residential sale. We're going to import data, and our option is no option, the Kai's Company Realist. So we're going to go to the Kai's Company Realist, but first we got to get to the correct county. So we're going to go down to Dade County, and then we're going to put in our folio number. And for those of you guys that don't know, you can ask your trainer, but folio numbers, you can get that from the property search website. And then you're going to list right here whether you're the selling agent, listing agent, or neither or both. Well, it's just in this case here, let's say we have the buyer, so we are considered the seller agent. So there we go. So as loading up there, and this is what we call a wizard. So anything that you guys put in here will transfer to any of the contracts. So for instance, if there's something that you want to make sure that's in or out of the transaction, you can put it here. You can also put the price, the purchase price. So if you're going to offer 350, yeah, too many zeros there. 350 for that. That will carry over once you go through here, and you can scroll through each one of these pages. Anything that you add in here, for instance, if you want to include stuff, exclude stuff, you do that right here. You can keep clicking on next until you're done, and then save and exit. All right. After that, I'm gonna stick a checklist in here because your admin's gonna need a checklist. And remember, we have another video out there of how to create a second transaction, not quick and easy for you. So you have a listing transaction and a sales transaction. But for right now, we're going to add a checklist. So we're going to go over here to where it says add. We're going to add a checklist, not a checklist item. We're going to add a checklist. So you get to choose from the different types of checklists that we have. In this case here, we have a residential sale. Kai's has a buyer. Apply. So I've added the checklist. The next thing you'd have to do after that is add the forms. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add the contacts. So if I find it very easy to add any contacts I have at this point, that way I don't have to add them later on in the transaction, say when I'm doing a signing session. If I have the time to do it now, it's perfect. So I'm going to add a contact, create new transaction contact. We got to do the type. So in this case here, this is the buyer. The first name is Bill. Last name is going to be Buyer. His email is going to be my email there. And Bill. And that's his initials there. So we're going to do that, and we're going to hit save. If you want to add it to your address book, you can. If not, click that there. So we save it, and Bill the Buyer now appears as one of our contacts. So when we go to add forms, now remember this side here is the transaction we're in. These are the main dashboard and the main overall signatures, forms, and stuff like that. So we're over here in forms. We're going to add some forms to it. So we're going to add we have a residential sale here. We're going to submit an offer on a contract. So we know we need the affiliated. Now, you guys can start going through the folders and start looking for them, but I prefer to start typing. As you type, it comes in, and we have the Kai's affiliated business disclosure. And you'll see here it pops in that window. So we have one thing in our basket, but you don't have to stop there. You don't have to add it at this point. You can keep going. So we're going to need the as is. So we have the Kai's as is right here. So now we have two in there, and then let's see, what else do we need? We need buyers. Let's see, Kai's buyer disclosure and transaction agreement. We got three. What else we need? We need a wire transfer, right? Wire fraud prevention. Got the instructions. That's the notice right there. We have those three in there, and that's good enough for now. But we have four things in there, and there you go. So now we have it, and all you got to do is go into any of these. For instance, the as is contract, and you just fill it out. Again, this is not a contract filling out class, so you make sure you guys, make sure you visit one of those classes. They're great classes. But for this point here, you just go in here, and then, of course, like I mentioned, the price that we're going to offer, it pops in automatically right there. So you just go ahead, fill out the rest of the contract as you need to. And now we're going to quickly do a signing. So I'm only going to do the affiliated because that's just one signature. So if I select this one here, actually, or if I click on signings, let me click on signings. I'm going to add a signing, and I'm going to go with the authentic one, the original, the classic. And I'm going to call this the affiliated business disclosure. There we go, ABD. Let's call it that. So here we go. So we have it. We have a choice of inline, which means one signer gets it, then the next signer gets it, or you can have it where they all sign at the same time. So it doesn't matter, first come, first serve. It doesn't really cause any problems there. But I just leave it single line. I'm going to add the participants, so I can pull from the list that I have here, or I can go ahead and add somebody else too. I can add it if I need to add somebody else, add more participants. I'm going to pull in the documents. So I'm going to use the Kai's affiliated business disclosure. Again, you can do as many documents in one shot as you want. If you want to do them all, get them all signed, that's great too. So we're going to add that there, and then we're just going to go ahead and design here. So there we go. So Bill Buyer, so I'm going to drop it down to where it kind of really needs to be. So there it is, and these are auto-populated in here. This where the signatures go for the most part. Sometimes you may have an issue, and if you do, you just come over here where it says drag and drop, and you can bring a signature in, or you can do initials, optional signatures, optional check boxes, the date, signer name. I would actually put his name on there, initials on the page. Or if you need to type something in, you can actually go ahead and type. You can put a little box here, and it allows them to type something in if for any reason you need them to fill in some information on the form. You also have a markup tool right here. So if you do need to cross something out, you can do that too on the contract. You can add text to the contract yourself. I'll get rid of that. Or you can highlight or circle or mark up right there. But once you're done, once you've done filling this out, you just click on next, and then it's going to get sent out to the person. Now you have a choice. You can just send the invitation, or if you do customize the invitation, it's actually going to, you can write a specific message to them about the contracts you're sending out there. But for now, I'm just going to hit send invite. So what that does, it sends out the contract to your client for them to sign. And as you can see right here, it's in progress. Let's see here. From here, let's see, you can open the signing, or you can see the history. I'm just kind of stalling here while I wait for it to pop up in my inbox. And let's see if I got it in here yet. Okay, and I see here the email has hit my inbox. So it basically just lets them know that they've been invited to participate in a signing session. When they click on start signing, it's going to open up for you, for your client. And I definitely recommend that you guys do one of these yourself. You can put yourself, you know, either a test one. If you put test in, the admin will know it's test, and you don't have to worry about it coming, being in the system. So they can go through here and select their signature. They click on accept, and all they have to do is click on the stuff. It signs for them. Once they're done, they hit complete signing. And then this pops up, basically letting them know if they're going to get an email with information about their signing, and receive their documents if they want to create a password and confirm it right there. For this case, we'll do no thanks. And it's just thanking them for using it. So then we go back to our transaction desk. Let's refresh our page here and see where we're at. We go from in processing to hopefully approved. So there we go. So now if we go back to our documents, remember, a form itself is just a blank form. Once it gets signed, it becomes a document. So we have the certificate, which is just a certificate that lets them know what time and date when it was signed. And then we have the affiliated business disclosure here with the signature on it. So we're all set there. So that's all you need to do to create a transaction and actually have it e-signed out there. If you guys have any more questions, please, you know, hit me up with an email or a text, and I'd be happy to do a one-on-one with you guys. Also, watch my other video on how to create a duplicate transaction. That way, it makes it a whole lot easier when you're doing it in the system. Thank you guys. Have a great day.